Hi everyone, it's Brenda from Olmobrook School Leon Child Family Center, and today I'm reading to you Pattons Pumpkin, a traditional flood story from southern India. And the book is written by Chintra Soundar and illustrated by Franelle Sack. Once upon a time, there was a man named Patton. He lived with his wife Kani on the banks of a mighty river that galloped down the Sahyadri Mountains. They tended their goats for their bulls and rode the elephants that roamed their lands. Patton grew pepper, rice, nutmeg, and bananas. He shared his food with everyone, the animals, birds, and the insects. One day, Patton found an ailing plant in the valley. It had beautiful yellow flowers. I'll plant it by my hut and look after it, he thought. The plant liked its new home. Its yellow flowers smiled at the sun. Look, Patton called one day, a pumpkin has started to grow. The pumpkin grew a little every day. It's taller than the goats now, said Canny. The pumpkin had grown taller than the fence, too. It was even fatter than the pigs. It grew some more. Patton had to climb on an elephant to see the top of the pumpkin. And still it grew bigger and bigger and bigger. Soon it will be as tall as the mountain, said Patton. The next day, dark clouds gathered. Rain crashed against the rocks in fury. Patton was afraid that the floods will wash away his hut. We should leave the mountains tomorrow, he said. We should take all the animals, birds, beetles, and bugs with us, and a sapling of every plant and seed of every grain. But how are they going to take all the creatures with them? Patton couldn't sleep that night. When the pumpkin glowed like fire under a burst of lightning, he had an idea. In the morning, Patton reached for his axe. It's time to harvest the pumpkin, he said. Battling the lashing rain, Patton climbed the mountain. The birds and animals followed him. Then Patton jumped on top of the pumpkin. He cut a big hole in it and dived into its orange flesh. The birds called out in fear. The goats bleated. The bulls snorted. Patton dug into the pumpkin, hollowing out its insides. Help me, he called. The goats, the bulls, the birds ferried out the pumpkin flesh as fast as they could. The wind blew hard, rocking the pumpkin from side to side. But Patton did not give up. He dug and dug until the pumpkin was hollow. At last it was big enough inside for everyone. Down in the valley, Canny filled sacks with grain, seeds, and herbs. Patton loaded them onto the goats, elephants, and bulls and brought them up the mountainside. Hurry, climb in, Patton cried. The dark evening skies cradled the mountain in darkness. We must leave before nightfall, said Patton, cutting the prickly stem from the plant. Now the pumpkin was free. It rolled down the mountain and bounced into the river. The crested waters of the river carried the pumpkin along. Many a day and night must have passed. No one counted. It rained and rained and rained. Canny sang a lullaby to soothe the baby animals and birds. While the gods of rain and thunder send us a storm, here inside the pumpkin we are safe and warm. One day we will return to our mountain peak, but in this great darkness, light is what we seek. And then, one day, the pumpkin bumped against something and stopped. Patton climbed out into a bright and sunny day. We have reached the plains, he called joyfully. Connie and all the creatures hurried out. The troubles of the rain were finally over. "The pumpkin has saved us," said Connie. The animals and birds basked in the sunshine. The next morning, Patton gathered everyone together. "It's time to return home," he said. Back in the valley, they built a new house by the river. "I'm forever grateful to the pumpkin," Patton said, as he planted the single pumpkin seed he had saved. Patton and Connie had many children, and they all made their homes in the foothills of the Sahadri Mountains. Even today, Patton descendants live in this valley. Looking after the animals, growing their pumpkins, they remember Patton and Connie with reverence and love. The end. What a beautiful, nice story. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.